Luis Díaz is playing the best football of his career. Even statistically, the best summer signing of this season isn't Hugo Ekitike, nor Victor Gyökeres or Benjamin Šeško. It's the player from Barrancas. But the best part is that it's not just about stats. Luis Díaz has been unstoppable this season. He's combining goals and assists with an intensity and physical work rate so remarkable that even his own teammates have been left stunned. This version of Luis Díaz is a threat to all of Europe, because what Bayern gained is that
fantastic player, really happy to be playing with him, you know. He was a threat the whole game. I think he can get it into wide positions and then cause defenders.
No one on the continent saw his explosion coming. Luis Díaz is the perfect example of what a €75 million signing should be. Among wingers in Europe's top 5 leagues, only Michael Olise has more goal contributions than Díaz's 37 this season. Only Harry Kane has scored more goals for Bayern in the Bundesliga than Díaz this year, making him the league's highest-scoring winger. And only Olise has more assists than Díaz's 14 in the domestic competition. The most outstanding aspect of Lucho this season is his production. He's putting up numbers at an incredible rate, 37 goal contributions in 36 matches at the time of recording. We're talking about a player averaging 1.02 goal involvements every time he steps onto the pitch. In the Bundesliga alone, he's been a force of nature. In 24 appearances, he has recorded 14 goals and 14 assists. That's not just good for a winger, that's competing with the world's elite strikers. But it's a mistake to think it's just luck. Advanced metrics tell a different story. His expected goals sit around 12.35, yet he already has 14. That means he's not just finishing chances, he's creating goals out of nothing. It feels like only now the rest of Europe is starting to realize how good Luis Díaz really is. Exactly the situation Bayern Munich would have wanted. In the summer, Bayern made a huge push to find a new left winger. Kingsley Coman had left, Leroy Sané made it clear he would stay, and they didn't want just any replacement. They wanted a statement signing. They targeted top-level players, but many of their first choices rejected them. Florian Wirtz was the main target, but he went to Liverpool. Losing Wirtz was a bitter blow. Sporting director Max Eberl even admitted his first reaction was basically, damn. Liverpool didn't just win that battle, they broke records by spending a total package of £116 million. A similar situation happened when Newcastle signed Nick Woltemade from Stuttgart for €75 million, outbidding Bayern. They also approached Cody Gakpo, but he chose to stay at Liverpool. The same happened with Iñaki Williams and Bradley Barcola, who also rejected Bayern. That's when they changed their plan. Instead of chasing the next big prospect, they went for a proven talent. They wanted a winger who could make an immediate impact. The answer was Luis Díaz. At first, it wasn't easy. Barcelona had shown interest, and Liverpool rejected offers. Díaz wanted an improved contract that never came, so when Bayern presented their project, he said yes. The transfer raised doubts. €75 million was a big fee, and some questioned his age. But within weeks, Díaz completely changed the narrative. He scored on his official debut. In his Bundesliga debut, he was involved in 3 of Bayern's 6 goals against Leipzig. He had 10 goal contributions in his first 10 league matches. He also shined in the Champions League, including 2 goals against PSG. Currently, he has 20 goals and 17 assists in all competitions, with a real chance of surpassing 20 goals and 20 assists this season. Beyond the stats, he's the missing piece. He fits perfectly into Vincent Kompany's system, one that demands intense, intelligent wingers who can dominate one-on-one situations. Díaz stands out especially for his pressing. He has an engine that never stops. He presses, wins the ball back, and immediately turns it into dangerous attacking situations. A perfect example was against PSG, where he scored twice and was a constant threat. He also recorded a hat-trick against Hoffenheim, showing not just goals, but efficiency and resilience under pressure. Off the pitch, his adaptation has been just as positive. He's happy in Munich, enjoys the city and his family life, and that happiness translates into dominance on the field. He's now part of an attacking trio with Harry Kane and Michael Olise that is breaking records. They've reached historic numbers and are on pace to surpass legendary Bayern records. Díaz represents the perfect balance: goals, dribbling, intensity, and work rate. He's not just talent, he's relentless effort. At 29, he's in the peak of his career, and with the 2026 World Cup on the horizon, everything points to him being a key player for Colombia. What started as a plan B for Bayern has turned into a complete strategic success. Luis Díaz hasn't just justified his price, he's become a star co-pilot. capable of leading his team to major trophies. One of the biggest evolutions in his game has been his composure in the final third. Earlier in his career, Díaz was often explosive but sometimes erratic, capable of beating 3 defenders and then rushing the finish. Now, there's a noticeable calmness. He chooses better moments to shoot, delays when necessary, and reads defensive lines with far more maturity. That shift alone is what separates a very good winger from a truly elite one. Another key factor is how he manipulates space. It's not just about pace anymore. Defenders already expect that. What's catching teams off guard is how intelligently he drifts between zones. Sometimes he hugs the touchline to stretch the defense, other times he tucks inside almost like a second striker. That unpredictability forces defenders into constant hesitation, and at this level, even a second of doubt is fatal. There's also a psychological edge to his game now. Díaz plays with a kind of controlled aggression, not reckless, but fearless. He doesn't shy away from physical duels, he presses even when the odds are against him, and he constantly looks to impose himself on the game rather than react to it. That mentality is contagious, and it's one of the reasons Bayern's attacking intensity feels so relentless. What's particularly interesting is how he's redefining the role of a modern winger. In a football world where many wide players are either pure creators or pure finishers, Díaz is blending both roles seamlessly. He's not dependent on a system to shine, he enhances the system itself. That kind of player becomes invaluable, especially in high-stakes competitions like the Champions League where adaptability is everything. And then there's the bigger picture. If Díaz maintains this trajectory, we're not just talking about a great season. We're talking about a player entering conversations he was never part of before. Individual awards, all-time club impact, legacy-level discussions, those doors are starting to open. Because when a player combines output, effort, intelligence, and mentality at this level, it stops being about form. It becomes about status. And right now, Luis Díaz isn't just in form.